We are live. Welcome to the NBA betting card on the Fan Speak Network. Meg will be back with us last week, but she is knee deep in Super Bowl props. I'm here today with Tyler, and Tyler, got to give you your props. You know, we're struggling a bit. You kind of took the wheel here these last couple days, and you've been on fire. 6 straight for you. Love to see it there. And a little bit of, obviously, I'm happy you're winning. A little frustration on my part, though, because going back and looking, I had projected a lot of dogs these last 2 days, and you sent me that thing. Favorites are 12-3 against the spread, so it illustrates that you're not going to just be able to make a model and then just run it for 5, 10 years straight, especially with the way things are changing in the NBA. You got to constantly be tinkering with it, and you have to be aware when it's not hitting, and right now it's not hitting. So we're going to have to dive into what we see on the court, matchups, and other ways to approach this, because the numbers that I'm producing aren't just going to blindly help us win. But I want to congratulate you. You've been on a hot streak, and I'm ready to see where you lead us today. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, Spread. Gonna grab my hoodie because I took it off before we started the show, and then instantly was like, I should probably put that back on. It's a little chilly in here.
What happened? Oh, there you go. Your mic got real loud for a second.
Oh, it did? I'll have to turn it back down, figure out what's going on there. But yeah, hopefully we can keep the hot streak going. It's not the best card, but I feel like we'll find a couple winners. I'm gonna go grab my hoodie real quick though. If you just want to talk about a couple, give me 30.
I'm just gonna get us right into the game. So we're gonna be on the first game on the lineup here. It's the Houston Rockets that are plus 8.5. They're in Indiana. They're taking on the Pacers. The total is 244.4. Which window did I throw NBA projections in? Oh, they're right here. So I have this game at 119.7 to 115.9. So something to note about with the projections. What's up to my guy Ryan Lee? Like, when I know they're all opposite, when it lands somewhere, I need to take that. I'm not explaining this very well. Basically, everything's going over on this card except for this game. And I think there's a reason that this game's going under, because of the uncertainty around Indiana and the fact they have not been that crazy high scoring team for the past couple weeks with this Halliburton injury. As far as I know, they're going to continue to do that 20-minute thing, right? Because it's weird to be betting on this team while they're obviously in the middle of making a statement to the league. I mean, the way that they're approaching this, it seems to be a message here. And, what's funny, to get my thoughts on it, I don't have a problem with these 65 games for the awards. I think where the problem is coming up is having awards tied into the contract. So I think that is where the issue is. So let's keep the 65 game rule. I actually think it's good for a season long award. Let's scrap awards being tied to the contract. That's my feeling going forward. But Tyler, I'm saying all this to tell you that I like the Rockets plus 8.5, and I like the under here in this game. What do you think?
How does my mic sound now? I was on the wrong settings.
A lot better.
Okay. I want to stay away from this game, Spread.
Okay.
Because Fred VanVleet's out. And that he's not on the basketball monster injury report. I feel like that is a big thing for Houston. We know how they fare on the road. They're not the best road team. And it's just a game where I feel like 8.5 might be too many. But I could also see the Pacers running this up and winning it by double digits. So I lean Rockets, but I don't think we should play it here. Maybe we'll double back and get on them. But
maybe we'll double back. I feel like it's one of those ones where I'm going to sit on the show right now and I'm going to say, there's no way you can play Indiana in this spot. So if that's the case, how is the Rockets not an edge? However, I'll go ahead and I'll argue against myself first, and then I'll let you do it. Number one, they're 5-10 against the spread in their last 10, over the last 15. That's bad. They're 2-6 in their last 8 against Indiana ATS. They're 0-8 straight up in their last 8 against Indiana. And they're 1-5. I guess that doesn't really matter. For an argument for my under, though, the game has gone under in 5 of the last 7 times that these teams have played. Unless you have news that Halliburton's going to play more than 20 minutes, I don't see how you bet the under here. You don't bet the under here. The other thing, and of course, you're so aware of this, is how bad Houston's home road splits have been, especially against the spread.
Does it worry you too without Fred Van Fleet that like the likes of Jalen Green and the Thompson twin will absolutely push the pace for the Rockets? They already ranked ninth in January in pace, and now you're going to take their slowest offensive player off the floor.
That's a concern. Yeah. Houston, yeah. I mean, you'll probably end up getting me to stay off this. I really liked Houston when I first looked at this. But on the road, Houston is 8-13-1 against the spread, only 38%. Indiana 14-10-2 at home against the spread. So, all right. Well, let's double back, but you made some good points on why we should stay off. But to me, it's Houston or pass, and I would not play the over here either.
Yeah, I'm with you where you stand, but I think we should maybe just kind of let this one cruise by us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm looking up Halliburton right now.
I don't think you're getting any more than 22 minutes out of him.
I mean, then the under just seems like a slam dunk.
I'm worried though that we don't know what the look of that Houston offense is really going to look like without Van Fleet.
So I'm seeing articles about his injury that he might not play tonight, but nothing actually says when they're going to move him off his minutes limit. So it would just suck if tonight's the night he goes back to 44, right?
Yeah.
It's not MVP, Clyde. It's All NBA because that's what he needs for the huge bonus. Yeah. All right. The next game is the Dallas Mavericks. They are -4. They're in Brooklyn. They're taking on the Nets. The total is 236.5. Tyler, Dallas is laying points, and I had to double check this, but my number's like Brooklyn straight up. What do you think?
I like Brooklyn too here. It's a back-to-back for both teams.
Okay.
Brooklyn took the loss at home to Golden State. They're staying at home. Dallas was able to beat up on Philly with no Embiid. And that's just going to be a weird team from now on. Dallas doesn't win games without Lively. I know I'm saying that right after they won that game last night, but that was a weird Philly team they played. Mm-hmm. And Fred, there's a guy on this injury report who's got a green tag next to his name that I feel like is very key in this game.
Let me refresh because I don't have that. But I know you're talking about Luka Doncic nose. Have you ever seen a nose on an injury report?
Well, no, he has a Q tag. I'm talking there's a green tag next to someone's name who I feel like is very key in this game, and he is going to play tonight. And that is why we are betting the Brooklyn Nets.
Is it Maxi Kleber or Kyrie Irving?
It's Ben Simmons.
Oh. All right.
When Ben Simmons is in the game for Brooklyn spread, that's when we were betting him earlier in the year, and we were making all that money for us.
Okay.
He helps on defense a ton. He's a bigger body that can get rebounds. Him and Claxton are just going to dominate this front court, and I don't think Luka's going to play tonight. You get a Kyrie revenge angle. I like his over 25.5, but I don't think that results in a Dallas win. I think Brooklyn keeps this close, and I think they maybe win it outright. Ben Simmons back on the floor for him. I like Brooklyn plus the 4.
All right, I'm placing that bet right now. All right, let's move on to total's 236.5. I didn't have thoughts on the total. Did you?
I got nothing on the total. I just want Brooklyn.
Yeah, same here. The Memphis Grizzlies are plus 14.5 on a total of 212. That's crazy, but everybody's done it, and we've all done it on the show. Everybody's out for Memphis, so that's why it is. They were catching 19 the other night. I wanted to take them. You talked me out of it, and they lost by 30. They're only averaging like 99 points a game over their last 5 games, which is why this total's so low going against a strong Knicks defense. Okay, so I said that earlier, right? Okay, so how about this one? I'm going to change it. I don't think there's any way you can play New York here. You can play New York. I lean towards 100%. Memphis. I don't want to play it. What do you think?
I would rather play New York over Memphis. New York, after that frustrating loss to the Lakers where they couldn't make buckets in that ending of the game, and they're 12-4-1 ATS after a loss this year. even without Anunoby on the floor, I just think they're way, way better of a team. They're going to play defense. They're going to play hard. I don't mind a first half look on them either. I think they dominate this game and win it by like 20 plus.
Okay, let's not play it though. I don't want to lay 14.5 with New York. Do you?
And that's a lot, but I might end up clicking that button.
All right. We'll double back to it. Thoughts on the total? 212.5 seems pretty low, but if Memphis only scores 99, it's pretty correlated. It's pretty
Yeah, Memphis team,
here.
maybe a Memphis team total under.
It just seems hard if the Knicks cover that this doesn't go over.
Yeah, the Knicks are going to put up a crate. Like their team total is a what was that? 113.5. Like they can easily get that.
Because on a 14.5, 212, it should be 113 and 99, right? So.
Yep.
And 99 seems about right.
I lean Knicks. I think they put it on them tonight. I think they run out.
I think if you bet the Knicks, just parlay it with the over. I don't think Memphis is only putting up 70.
Do we got any? Let's look at the performance doubles. Let's see. They're
going to be garbage because the Knicks are minus 1,200.
Here's one I can maybe get behind. Josh Hart 6+ assists and they win at plus 180.
Yeah. Okay. No. Okay. Wow,
Either
surprised me. What does he average? Like 3 assists? I mean, to get plus 180 off of minus 1,200.
Let's pull that up real quick. Let me pull up his game log on StatMuse real quick. Josh Hart.
Yeah, I wonder what just 6+
his recent games. He's had 4, 3, 10, 7, 5, 3, and then a streak of 1. I mean, maybe not. Maybe his rebounds is the way to go. There's a 10+ rebounds and they win at plus 115. He's had 11, 12, 10, 12, 9, 7, 5, 9, 14. They're not the best front court. The Knicks maybe sit their big guys because they really don't need him in this matchup. He could easily feast on the boards here.
All right. If you like it, go ahead and play it. I can't talk.
I don't mind that one. And maybe a DiVincenzo like 5+ threes and they win, but I'm not even sure if that's going to pay you well, seeing as though his prop is over 4.5 and it's minus 170.
Shit, that's going to get you to like minus 150.
Yeah, so then that would be some ways I'd target this game, maybe through Josh Hart, or maybe a 30+ on Brunson and they win.
All right, screw this game. Let's go on to another one because I'm curious about this one. I was curious what you have to say. So this is another game where I have the dog winning straight up in my projections. But like I said, I'm not like loving the projections right now. The Orlando Magic are in Miami. They're taking on the Heat. I have it at 110.5 to 109.7. But the Magic are catching 3 points. And I have the Magic winning by 0.8. This also is going way over, which pisses me off because these teams trend under. Tyler, I think if you look it up, the last 2 or 3 times they played, I mean, these teams are landing like at 200.
Yeah, it's been
basically, I think my projections are garbage for this game. It's like, I don't know. I don't even know what to do. Because I don't want to switch everything just for one thing, but when you have 3 teams that have only gone like 203 the last 2 or 3 times they played each other, and I'm projecting to 219, obviously I'm not taking something into account. And maybe it's just a arbitrary blip, but a lot of reflection here on the projection. So that being said, I'm having problems capping this game because I don't feel like usually the projections show me, like they give me a roadmap and then I see if I want to take it. I don't feel like we have that here today. Also, haven't the Magic been the Heat been really good against the Magic? Yeah. 4-2 against the spread in their last 6 against.
And the Heat have won 8 straight at home versus Orlando.
Yeah, Orlando is 5-0 against the spread in their last 5. However, Miami's 2-8 against the spread in their last 10. I think you can make good arguments on both sides.
I think you can too. I think this is another one where I much rather just watch this game and then bet it live because I think you're going to know right off the bat whether you're right or wrong about this game, betting it pregame. I lean the Magic, but this is one of those spots where the Heat show up. They haven't been good over their last 10 games. They only have those 2 wins, the one over the Kings and the one over the Wizards. But this is just one of those matchups that they do well in. Both these teams are in trade talks. Orlando wants a point guard. Miami wants to retool the roster. I think this is just one of them games you stay away from on trade deadline week.
It sucks, man. All right. I wanted to play Orlando too, but fuck it.
I think, but it's one of those ones like if Orlando starts off good and you're like, all right, this is looking like a good game for them, you should still be able to bet them around +1 to -1 about halfway through the first quarter.
Do you want
It's
to
not
just
like
completely
it's
ignore
not like we're getting
projections
like,
and just take the under?
I mean, I don't hate that idea, but if they get the threes to fall, that's where they score the points here. They haven't gotten the threes to fall in the last couple matchups. They've shot them, but they just haven't went in.
Okay. All right, right now it's a stay away. The Minnesota Timberwolves are -5. They're in Chicago. They're taking on the Bulls. The total is 217. Tyler, I have this game as a 113-109 win. So once again, way over, and once again, it tells me to take the dog. I mean, it's just the projections are freaking garbage right now. I'm so pissed because I don't even know what to do to fix it. It's just so weird how something can just be money and then just here. You want to know what my real thinking is? These guys are just in and out of the lineup too much.
Yeah.
So it's just impossible to accurately gauge. And even if you try and switch to a player base, I don't know. I'm not happy about it. As far as this one, Minnesota's 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 against Chicago. Total's gone under in 4 Minnesota's last 5 road games. That doesn't surprise me. They're giving up like 99 points per game over their last 5 games. This is an excellent defensive team. The total's gone over in 4 of Chicago's last 5 home games, and this game has gone over the last 6 times these teams have played each other. I don't know how much the Timberwolves are so much different now. I don't know how much that matters. I don't want to lay it with the T-Wolves, so I don't want to play this game because I'm not taking the Bulls.
I want to lay it with the T-Wolves. I think it's an easy matchup for them. Where can the Bulls score? They're not going to score at the rim. Go Bears down there. They have perimeter defenders. They can't shoot threes. I think Minnesota names their score here. The whole history of the Trends means nothing to me too because they play twice a year, and this Minnesota roster hasn't been good up until last year.
The Gobert didn't fit last year, so it's like it's a completely different team. So
and you just look at their recent wins. Like when they win games, of their last 10, they only have, I believe, 2 wins where they wouldn't have covered this spread. They beat Houston 111-90, that's a cover. Beat Dallas 121-87, that's a cover. OKC 107-101, they'd have covered there. They only beat Brooklyn by 2, so they wouldn't have covered there. They beat Washington by 11, they would have covered this number. And then they beat Memphis by 15. I just don't see how the Bulls stop anything they want to do here. Ant's going to score at the rim at will. They have the depth. I like the Timberwolves here. I think they win by double digits.
All right. Well, you've been on fire. I mean, Timberwolves covered 3 of their last 4. One of them was that huge spread against Dallas. They covered by 8 against Houston. First game of a road trip. Chicago is in a nice spot. Second game of a road trip there. But boy, if they can't even beat the Kings, you're right. Okay. I mean, do you want to make it official right now, or do we need to double back?
I don't think we need to double back on this one. I like them here.
I got -5 too. You have 5.5, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm in. All right, 2 plays so far. So far, we played the Nets +4, the Timberwolves -5. I still want to make a case maybe for the Rockets +8.5 or an under 244 there, but we will see. Let's move on though, Tyler. Let's talk about these games. We'll let everything marinate. Say what's up to these guys in the chat. I see you there, Clyde. And I see my guy, Ryan Lee. The Oklahoma City Thunder are -3. They're in Utah. They're taking on the Jazz. Tyler, the Jazz are going to be a popular pick today. The Jazz will be a popular pick today, and why not? They have the best home record against the spread in the NBA. That's right. This team is 17-6 at home ATS, covering 73% of the games. However, I think the market's caught up to that. So while there might have been an edge in those past 23 games, maybe we're getting OKC at a discount here, as everybody's just auto bet the Jazz at home this year and been winning at an impressive clip. Jazz are 10-4 as a home underdog, but I mean, let's look at some of these. I think they're usually catching a lot more
if you
than
have
this.
that list of if you can read off that list of games, because I really want to know what those spreads were, because everyone's talked about this, and I just feel like it's one of those spots where it's like you were betting a +8, a +7, a +9, like you were just betting all these underdogs, and now everyone's running to bet a +3 in a terrible matchup.
Yeah, I mean, so as a dog, right? They caught 6.5 against Denver, but we knew that was a bad spot for Denver. They caught 14 against Boston, and they weren't even close. I think that's indicative. They were +9 against New Orleans, right? And New Orleans and Oklahoma City are the same. Now, to be fair, I'm going back to these times when they didn't have a full lineup, right? I think Markkanen and Kessler and these guys missed some of these games here. So, I mean, there's another reason why they were catching more points. But, you know, another one, +5.5. They had a win. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at, those are road games. I'm sorry, I need home games. So they're +4.5 against Dallas, +3. They're winning a lot straight up as home dogs, actually. Okay. Anyways,
I can't. I'm not betting the Jazz here. I think this is the spot where everyone lines up and OKC just pounds them. I mean, OKC is the second best ATS team in the league this year. As a favorite, they're 21-13 this year. Their average win margin in those games are 11 points. They have the depth. Jalen Williams is probably back tonight, so their second best player on the team is going to be back. I like OKC.
Okay. I have the Jazz winning by 2. This is fuck my projections. All right, let's look at some trends between these teams.
OKC 60% on the road. ATS this year, average win margin 6 points. We know the Jazz are in trade talks because Markkanen's name's been everywhere.
It doesn't really matter to me. So trends conflict. Oklahoma City 1-4 against the spread in their last 5. However, they've covered in their last 6 against Utah. I want to see on the road. So you know Oklahoma City's failing to cover at home. They're actually 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 on the road. How have these two teams done? I don't know.
The last time they played in Utah, the OKC beat them 134-129. That was in January.
Was that this year?
Yeah, it was in January 18th. They played in December. That was in OKC. OKC beat them by 14.
I don't really care about in OKC.
Okay. Last year, OKC visited Utah in April, won 114-98 as a 7-point favorite. And then
Utah had given up at that point.
Yeah. And then the last time they visited them before there was last year of February 23rd. Utah won that one 120-119, and OKC was a 1.5-point dog.
I'm willing to be talked into it.
I like it.
The reason I think that you're on the right side here, I think
the number's been pushed. The number's been pushed down by the public, and we're getting one of the best teams in the league at -3.
Yeah.
We watched this team go down, 20-something points to the Raptors the other night, and they won the game. Like, we know they can fight back if the Jazz get a lead.
They're rested.
Yeah, that's the other thing, too, Clyde. He's saying OKC just played a double OT game and altitude in Utah. They played a double OT game 2 nights ago. It wasn't like they were the Raptors that had to spin around and play a back-to-back.
Where was the double OT? I'm looking at their schedule.
They played double OT against the Raptors. That's why we faded the Raptors yesterday.
Oh. But we had a day off, and we had the youngest team. Not the youngest, but a really young team.
No, that's what I'm saying is they had a day off.
That double OT is probably moving the number just as much as the 17-6 against the spread for Utah being at home.
But having the day off in between, I think, throws that all out the window.
And the fact that they're all under 30.
Yeah.
And you know where double OT worries me is with KD.
The Raptors are running Steph. Like Thad Young and those guys out there.
Okay. Let's go to the last game, and then we're going to come back and talk about this. But I think you made some compelling arguments.
This last game's an interesting one.
I'm against everybody here. I like the Bucks. But let's introduce it properly. It's the Milwaukee Bucks. They're in Phoenix. They're taking on the Suns. The Suns are laying 4 points. The total is 243.5. I have this game projected as a 1-point Suns win. Slightly going under here. And I'm going to look at a couple trends of this game while you break it down, Tyler.
Yeah. You get a couple of things you got to keep an eye on here. One, you get a Grayson Allen revenge factor. Love is over 2.5 threes. I think he can hit some threes in this matchup. Cool, but I'm not don't suck your teeth at revenge factors because I brought up a Bradley Beal one to you the other day and he scored 43 points.
No, I'm not. I'm saying the prop is great, but I don't know if that affects my overall handicap of the game.
No, that's why I was just breaking it down on the prop. Now back to the game. Okay, There's 2 injuries that I think we need to keep an eye on. Damian Lillard might not play in this game. Mm-hmm. Brook Lopez doesn't play either. I don't want anything to do with the Bucks if both those guys are out because then it's Giannis running around with Chris Middleton and a bunch of bums. So it's a weird game. I don't want to bet Phoenix in their first game back after the Wolves in a 7-game East road trip. So maybe I just bet some props on this one. Giannis is going to go crazy in this matchup. There's no one that can guard him. If you do think Milwaukee wins, there's like a Giannis 12-plus rebounds and they win at plus 400. Giannis 35 points and they win at plus 300. There's some ways you can get on it there. They have props listed for Lillard, so it looks like he's going to play, and Lopez. So hopefully both those guys are in. If they're in, I like the Bucks. If they're out, I probably just play some props here.
So here's my thinking on this game. How do the Bucks respond to this Doc Rivers shit? Like, they're coming off like one of the worst losses in the year. Doesn't it seem like a time we would want to back them?
Yeah.
Or is it just a sinking ship and we get away?
I don't know if it's a sinking ship as much as, like, this is one of those spots where it's, like, the perfect time to back them. But those two, I need to know those 2 guys are going to be on the floor. Because I don't want to back just Giannis playing this top-loaded Phoenix team.
All right. That's fair. Okay, let's go back. What's our best bets for the day? Can I talk you into Rockets plus 8.5?
Talk me into the under.
They're correlated.
I'd rather play the under.
Okay,
I just don't want to bet the Rockets when their point guard's out and they're on the road. That just spells disaster to me.
Spells disaster at sacrifice. All right, let's play the under. What did we actually bet so far? So we've only bet the Knicks and the T-Wolves. Let's stay away from the Magic Heat. Let's stay away from the Grizzlies Knicks. I say the Thunder, the only other one I'm interested in. The Thunder and the under. How's that?
Yeah, so what we got? Nets, T-Wolves, Thunder.
Under and the Rockets Pacers.
Okay. Right, and wait on if Damian Lillard and Lopez play, I'm betting the Bucks.
Okay, message me if that happens.
Gotcha.
All right, that's it for us. We'll be back tomorrow on the Nuke the House channel. Thank you very much.